Hi, I'm Allison. I'm owner of Curl Evolution, Long Island's top curly salon. And today what I'm going to do is show you on a mannequin so we can get up nice and close how to apply your product so that you're going to get less frizz, you're going to get lasting hold with your styling product for longer days, and you're going to have less knots when you do wash out your hair. So let's get started. Okay, so first things first, right after she's shampooed and conditioned, if you're using our Curlfection one step that looks like this, you're going to scrub it to the scalp, comb it through and turn it to a butter and leave it on for 5 minutes. But if you're using a two-step process, we want to make sure that we're going through with a comb that's not too wide. This is the only thing that's going to help you actually detangle the curls and make sure that your conditioner is getting all the way through 360 over every single curl. Otherwise, what happens if you're just using your fingers, a lot of the knots go through and they actually are not getting conditioned, and then what you actually have is this halo of frizz that as you realize it after it's dried out already. So, all right, so now we have our soaking wet hair, and did not use a towel to it. You can go in with a microfiber towel and just get the drips off the bottom, but don't go crazy with that. Just give it a little squeeze. So today, just to keep it a little bit lighter, I'm gonna go in with the Meringue, Curlfection's Meringue. I wanna put a primer in today, a little extra primer, just because, I wanna keep it a little bit lighter. So when you do your primer, just go over everything. If you're using a primer or you're using a gel and you cannot squeeze the crunch out, it means the gel has some harsh alcohols in it, and it's probably not going to be very good for your curls. The only type of curls that really do well with a harsher alcohol is going to be wavy hair that actually wants to be curlier because it's drying it out. So that's the only hair texture that's really going to do well with that. So today I'm going in with the Curlfection's Firm Hold. It's a cream and a gel all in one. It also has a little bit of primer in it for slip, but I did want to add that little bit of lighter primer in there because the foam acts like white paint and it gives it a lighter overall feel before we put a gel over the top of it. Now, if you had a very specific area of hair that's like maybe a little flatter on top than the bottom, what you could do is you could put your meringue product, your mousse up in the top area and skip the bottom. That's going to automatically give you more lift up at the top. So I want to go over everything. If you feel like you're drying out, you don't have even slip as you're going through everything, just get back in there with a water bottle. You want it dripping. The key here is to really work it through really well. Now, a little tool that we love in the shop is this 3-row styling comb. And it helps you section, and then it also helps you get the product through. And, we've heard for such a long time from a lot of people about not, using a comb through the hair, but honestly, we find that it really helps in giving you a smooth curl, frizz-free curl, and the overall finish is a lot nicer. So you can still go back over it with your hands, but we do like the comb through it first, just to make sure that we have our product evenly distributed. And I want to feel even slip through all the curls all over. If I don't have even slip, you might have a section of hair that is a little bit different in texture, and that is not unusual. However, we do need to treat it a little bit differently. So if you have a section of your hair that just feels a little bit more like it's a little bit drier or it's a little bit coarser, then it's even more important that you go back over it with a comb, especially like this 3-row comb where you're going to get a couple of rows of teeth through it and put a little bit more product. So let's just say our whirl area had a little bit difficult texture here. Just go over it a little bit more because we want to feel that same slip through the whole head. This should not take you a ton of time. The idea is to speed up the amount of time that you are working on your curls. It is not going to be, an all-day thing to do, but it is different steps than you might normally be used to. So leaving the hair soaking wet, making sure you're combing your conditioner through. That way you can get through the curls very easily and you're not causing damage by ripping them when you're trying to get your product through. That's a big one too, that people are ripping through their curls because they're not combing it with conditioner. And the conditioner is really what helps hydrate the curls. If you're using an inexpensive conditioner, that actually can be a problem because they have a lot of filler in them. And it coats over the hair, but it doesn't leave the moisture. So really make sure that you've got a good conditioner or the one-step cream cleanser where you got your shampoo, your conditioner, detangler all in one. And if you feel like your hair is still dry after you've showered and used your home conditioner, then just use a leave-in conditioner before you put your product on. That is another primer, but it's not a lightweight primer. It's not going to give you body by using a leave-in. The mousse is going to give you body. So you can use that right over the top of it. So we're going to just give it a squeeze. I'm going to turn my mannequin around. Nice little trick is take your parting and kind of do a C shape with your parting. You can let it be zigzag or however your curls want to lay, but don't fight it. So you can see that this front curl right here it's flopping in her face. We're going to automatically put it up the other way because that's going to just come down later on. So if it's happening up here already, it's going to happen later on once your hair is dry, and it'll just be a lot easier to touch it now so we're not causing frizz later. So we're going to let this air dry, and my recommendation is set an alarm on your phone, but after you have dried up for about an hour, what you want to do is go in and just take your fingers and give your roots a little massage to break them up. You don't necessarily need to break up the ends. We want to leave the ends intact because the more days that you can have a more defined curl on the ends, you're going to get more days out of your styling. But this root area, generally most people do not want this flat, and they don't want it, sitting right next to their roots. So just get in there and give it a little massage just at the root, just to fluff it. And once it's all dry, just give it a squeeze. I'll come back in a few and she'll be all dried up, and we'll squeeze her curls out just to show you the finished style. All right, so we're all air dried up. Now you want to get back in and you want to just soften it out, give it a little scrunch, massage the root a little bit. You don't want to go too crazy on day one. That way you can get a better day 2, day 3. You can see her piece on top is laying a lot better right here. And we just want to pull it out in front and give a little squeeze on the side as well. And if you want a little bit more body, just give a little massage to the root. Pull it down into place. That's it. And if you want to resurrect it the next day, you can take the Curlfection's Meringue, put a little bit into your palm, and use that as a refresh. It's just a nice way of giving it a little bit more life. It's not going to weigh it down. Unlike water, because when you spray the water on, it kind of makes everything droop down again. The foam is so lightweight, the meringue is so lightweight that it just kind of refluffs it as you're putting that moisture back into it and redefines the curls a little bit more. So that is it, and I hope that helps.